Today on the workbench we're going to be building the AMT Popper Pinto. It's Coca-Cola sponsored, and it looks like it's going to be a real fun build. You can build it stock or custom. You got the stock bumpers and wheels and engine, or you can put the turbocharger on that same little 4-cylinder engine, and it even comes with the Coca-Cola vending machine. And here's your decals. Let's take a look at what comes in the box. Well, here's your body. It's just a regular old Pinto hatchback. These were real popular when they first came out, way back in 1971, I believe. This one here, I believe, is modeled after the 77. Here's your interior tub. It's got the textured floor in there so you can make it look like carpeting. The door panel features are kind of light. They're not really good in there, but good enough that you can get in there and kind of detail a little bit. Here's your standard chassis. It's pretty well detailed. These are going to have the pass-through axles, unfortunately, instead of an independent suspension system that you can build. Next up is your rear axle and your exhaust system, stock exhaust system, seat backs, a steering wheel, license plates. On this next tree you have your engine pieces, a fan, belt, oil pan, exhaust manifolds, your firewall, and some trim pieces. This next tree you have your stock front valance. You have 2 CB radio antennas and a CB radio, and one of 2 steering wheels. This is a custom steering wheel. And then it has, on that other tree that I just had in my hand, has the stock steering wheel. The next tree is your seats, your dashboard, which is kind of plain, but then again, Pintos weren't really known for being real fancy. 2 plastic axles. This comes with plastic axles, sport mirrors, bucket seats. The next tree over here has your back seat, your rear hatch, and your hood. One of 2 hoods. This next tree gives you all your custom parts. As you see on the box, it has a custom rear bumper. Well, it has a custom front bumper as well, and a custom hood. It gives you, well, let's go into it this way. Here's your chrome tree. It gives you your stock wheels, and you have custom mag wheels. They're kind of deep. All the chrome parts, your chrome bumpers, lake pipes, chrome gauges and shifters, and some chrome dress-up parts for your engine. This kit also comes with 2 different types of window glass for your car. You have the Coca-Cola green. It's all one-piece glass, front and rear. Then you have your side windows. And below this paper, you have this just the standard clear glass for the car. Let's set that aside. And in this package, I didn't want to open this because I didn't want to lose these pieces, but this is the front glass for the pop machine in this section. And there's custom taillights that go with that custom rear end. And the Coke machine. That's a nice addition. Here's your decal sheet. If I can hold on to it. This is all for your vending machine here. And then you got the Coca-Cola logos that go on the the door panels. This kit also gives you 8 tires. These are BF Goodrich tires. These go with your stock rims. If you go with the mag wheels, here's your other tires. These are not branded. They are a bit wider than the stock wheels. Not much, but just a little bit. And last but not least is your instruction sheet. Alright, well, let's get started on this build. It looks like it's going to be a fun, quick build, and I'll be back with sub-assemblies. Alright, now that I'm getting started on cutting out the parts and getting ready to do sub-assemblies, a quick note I wanted to point out. As you can see on the directions here, they give part numbers for each one of these parts. Okay, but when you look on the tree, you'll notice there are no part numbers on either side of the tree. There's no part numbers. You know, normally they have the little tags hanging out there that tell you what the part number is so you can match it up to the directions. There are no part numbers on these trees. So you're going to have to be a little bit more vigilant as to what you're doing so that you can put this together. Most people won't have any issues, but for the folks that are just getting started in this hobby, this is not a real great thing. I mean, you know, if you know what you're doing, you shouldn't have any problems. But if you're kind of a novice, and I'm not picking on novices because we all have been there, you might have a little trouble. Just be mindful of the pictures that they show in the direction sheet and match up the parts as best you can. I just wanted to point that out while we're doing this, and so that you won't have trouble putting this together. Okay, we're all set with the sub-assemblies. I did get a little ahead of myself. Started building and forgot to turn the camera on. But here's where we're at. I've got the interior mostly done. As you can see, I'm going with a tan motif on that. That's going together well. The engine is complete. It still has a little bit of drying time to go through yet. Oh, and the camera's not focusing. And once that is dry, we'll put that together. There was a couple of items that I should point out when I put the front end. This piece here is separate from the rest of the body because you have a different nose cap there, or front end that you can put on this to give it the sporty look or whatever. This piece doesn't fit to the body real well. It was either this piece was warped or the body is. I can't determine which, but I had to use a little filler on this side right here because there was a big gap. There was a big dimple back here in the mold line. When I tried to sand that out, it didn't sand out quite well. I did finally get that right. And one other item that I need to point out to you guys on this particular car, I did not notice it when I first pulled it out of the box, but when you looked at this chassis, it was straight until you got to right about this point here. Then this part from here back was down, so that when you on test fittings just to see how everything would work, this part back here was almost a half an inch below this part of the body. It was sticking way down in here. What I ended up having to do to adjust this is I went in to the sink closest to my hot water heater, so I knew that the hot water would be good and hot, and I turned it on its side and let water run right down through this area here. Once I did that, I let it run a good 3-4 minutes. Then I was able to put my fingers here and pry this way on the body to bring this back up to where it was straight with the rest of the chassis. So that's one of the things you're going to have to look out for when you're building this kit. Check to see if this is straight. If it's not, you're going to have to apply some heat here. You can either use a hot water or a hair dryer, but you want to heat this area right in here, right where the rear of the seating tub sets, interior tub sets, and just apply some pressure and bend this back up very slow, very slight. You don't want to pry on it too much because you could damage it, but you want to put enough pressure in that you bend that back and it stays level. Okay, now we're off to the paint booth. Let's get some paint on this body, and let's get the rest of this car put together. second coat of clear, and I had to go through and sand it down a little bit. It didn't lay as flat as I wanted it to. Let's give this a try. Okay, here we are with the final parts. Everything's pretty much ready to go into the final assembly, and there are a few issues with this particular kit that I'm going to point out right now. Neither one of the glass inserts for the body will fit the body properly. There's a gap back here in the back that the window just doesn't fit to the body. You just can't get it to fit. Initially, when I first got this main chassis here was bent from this area back. It was bent down. I got it straightened back up, but it's still not quite right. And in addition, the engine doesn't have a forward mounting spot. It's just wide open. And if you use the front lowering pins for your suspension, then you have to use part of the axle. Like I said earlier, it came with 2 plastic axles. Well, if you use those lowering pins, you don't have an axle in the front. So what I did is I took the pin and cut it in half, and I'm going to use that as my mounting point for the engine. Now, I did want to use the side glass, but I don't know if you can see that on the camera. The push-out pin marks on the glass, you cannot cover those up in any way. I tried, test fitting them in the body. The A and B pillars do not cover up those marks, and I just figured it looks better without the glass, honestly. I would have liked to have had this window, these side windows put in, but not at the expense of having those pin marks in the glass. They're just in there, and it would take a lot of work to get those out of there and get the glass to not show the sanding marks and what have you. So we'll just set those aside and call it a day. So I'll be back with the final assembly. Alright, we're back with the final. This is the AMT 1977 Ford Pinto popper. It's built mostly stock. I put a little bit of custom parts on it. You can see the side pipes on there, the spoiler, and of course the Coca-Cola logos and the mag wheels. Did a little bit of special something in the interior there. It's a mixture of stock and custom. I went with the turbocharged 4-cylinder engine just because of course you guys can build it any way you want. It's your model. Build it the way you want to build it. Thank you for watching my video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell icon, because that does something. Give me a thumbs up. It tells the YouTube algorithm that I'm doing a good job here. See you in the next video.